Hi everyone, I'm Yagmur Simsek. I am an SEO strategist at Resignal for almost 2 years now. We have been, working with some clients in the past, and I have been also reading articles about some e-commerce platforms and also for like future projects to consider which platform is the best to start for our SEO efforts, etc. So just to let you know, this is our overview today. Why is SEO important for e-commerce website, which we already have idea, I guess, because I think this is the reason that we are all here today. And how to choose the best e-commerce platform for our SEO needs, because I think we are kind of a mixed group here. Some people are maybe already planning to switch, migrate to a new e-commerce platform, or some are planning to create a new e-commerce website, or some are here because maybe they want to just stay here after Lux and Lily's talk and just be kind to me. I'm just joking. So, and also we will also talk about some pros and cons of popular e-commerce platforms and see how far we can reach with those kind of choices. So I just wanted to start with a quote that I really like and apply on my own journey as well. Change before you have to. It's because if you want to make a change now about your e-commerce platforms, it is the right time. Maybe you think that you are late for this change, but I think if you are aware of your needs and if you are aware of your potential growth, I think it's the right time for you, because there is no right time for, like, the ideal right time for everyone and everyone's journey. And secondly, it's like if you are already starting your e-commerce platform, I think again you need to change the way you think. You may need to change the way you think for now, for future, because the thing that you are also focusing at the moment may not be your future KPIs or your future goals in your e-commerce journey. So why we love SEO, why we think that is important for e-commerce? Obviously, it increases visibility, it increases your revenue, it increases your profit, and obviously organic traffic, and also leads that come into your site from different sections of your website, like sign-ups, etc. And they can end up with revenue as well, as it's mentioned today as well. And it's also cost-effective way, because if you are a startup, e-commerce startup, you may want to go with a less cost, with the less option, and then also like long-term benefits if you are actually planning to, grow your startup in the future. Let's talk about how we are choosing these platforms, how we are coming to a solution while we are, considering about our choices, etc. So I just wanted to mention a few pros and cons of open source e-commerce or, SaaS e-commerce platforms, and then once we have overall idea about, the main pros and the main cons, I think it's gonna be helping you with your journey. Like, for example, open source e-commerce refers to any e-commerce platform that you can access to its data and your all details, and you can make any change regarding your complex, customer client needs or your websites or business needs in the future. At that point, you need to think about what would be needing in the future. Like, for example, if you want to create like a very customized product page for your potential buyers, if you want to add any different review section or guideline section, or let's say like a color options or any other different specific customized feature that you want to add in the future, you may want to think about this now, because some of the SaaS e-commerce platforms may not be supporting those kind of needs, but may also maybe a bit more costing you more in the future for the long term. But at the same time, those kind of SaaS platforms have like lower costs, especially if you're a new startup or new e-commerce business, or if you have limited team, like a limited web dev development team and IT team, or limited marketing team or content team as well, because now these kind of platforms have more features that would help you with your journey, and then act like as your the team member in the existing structure. So also think about like SaaS platforms as a co-working space. Like if you're a startup and if you rent a place in the co-working space, you shouldn't be thinking about like utility bills, like you get rid of already the internet connection, Wi-Fi connection stuff, and other admin stuff, and even like a printer and everything. So when you think about that way, it's really useful, and it's really like beneficial for your journey. But at the same time, you may not be able to change any, let's say, window color or any maybe specific furniture, which is actually like a brand tone of voice of the co-working space, and etc. So these kind of things that you need to be thinking when you want to switch to a SaaS e-commerce platform, or vice versa, and then see if you have a budget for, let's say, open source platforms, or if you have a budget to improve your website further when you are ready for change and growth in the future, when you are actually switching to a SaaS e-commerce too. So in here, I also wanted to mention a bit more about the headless CMS, because it's becoming a popular topic at the moment. It was always been there, but now we have started seeing some integrations on different SaaS platforms like Shopify, the Shopify and Sanity integration. I was talking to Lydia earlier, like what kind of features that you think is the most useful in terms of the integrations, and when someone needs to use headless CMS platforms, etc. So these are the content management system that separates where content is stored from where it is presented. It's basically like separates the information and then the presentation, and at the end it may also help the structured data journey of your website and create more customizable content solutions for websites. So when you choose like SaaS e-commerce platform like Shopify, you may also want to use these kind of features and integrate those to your website for the feature needs as well. So if you want more information, I think she's always open for conversations on Twitter and LinkedIn. I couldn't see her today, but if she was here, I would just point out. Also, I wanted to mention some SEO considerations while you are choosing your platform, your e-commerce platform. As we all know, we are talking about site structure and implementations, speed and performance earlier, mobile optimization things, and also content management, international SEO, and cost and security when it comes to choosing the platform. So when we start thinking all about these features, I would just say there is no one answer to this question, like which platform is best for you, because it all depends on your needs and your business KPIs and goals in the future that you want to pursue. Like, for example, if you are planning to expand to other international areas and other countries, you may want to consider about the configuration that the e-commerce platforms have in their website. Like, for example, we have been talking about Shopify has been having some pros and cons in terms of internationalization, but now, I mean, by the time we have been talking about this, they have started like releasing the Shopify Plus and Shopify Plus Pro, and then they have been solving some questions. Actually, it's not also like impossible. It's also depending on your budget and how much developer and web development fee that you want to pay to create new features in the future. So these kind of SEO challenges are coming on the way when we choose either open source or SaaS e-commerce. It's like, let's say you want to create like like different filters options, and you want to index some of the filters that you want to use, but sometimes it's impossible because of the platform's limitations. Or maybe you are ending up with creating lots of duplicate URLs because of the platform infrastructure. So, and you are not aware of it. So you need to be actually discovering and searching for all these kind of pros and cons that your platform, like your favorite platform that you're going to be using in the future. So for Shopify, let's say, I would just suggest you to I mean, either for Shopify or any other e-commerce platform, I would just suggest you to make sure that what are your needs first, like just make a very quick list saying, and spend some time on it and saying like, oh, in the product page, I may need this, or in the category page, I may need this kind of features, or even for EAT, let's say, if you want to create like a very expert and medical expert knowledge, and let's say author page that you want to include all kind of information that author has been featured in different platforms, like to highlight that those are the experts in their fields. You may want to consider different perspectives, like if the platform that you are switching to has the capability to create those kind of pages for you, or if the team are really expert on that area as well, that they can support you, because one of their pros is like their supporting teams are always ready to answer your questions, etc. This is what they say. So one of my favorite things that I go to, let's say Shopify's case studies website, and then start reading some of the well-known brands' case studies and see how they came up with a solution for their challenges, and then how their journey, evolved with those platforms. Like for example, in here, Shopify, we have Gymshark example. They have moved from Magento to Shopify because they noticed that they started growing so fast, and then Magento was not able to respond those requests and those fast-changing environment for them, and they ended up, losing some revenue for like very popular campaign periods, and then it was their decision moment that, oh, we are switching to Shopify, and then now they are happy to continue in there. Or another example from Simba. So when you know your business needs, for example, Simba needed some international support when it comes to creating customized payment options or any other needs for their international expansion. So again, they use Shopify, but for different reasons. Another example is from Cambridge and Social. They also noticed that they want to spend their revenue or budget to improve and develop their product, instead of spending all the budget to improve their web development team, etc. So it is another decision-making process. Like if you don't want to grow your team in the technical side, but you want to spend more time on research on your product and improve it in a way, they also chose to use Shopify, because it helped them save some time from those kind of efforts, and then also maybe money for their own product research. So in addition, like in Shopify, for example, in different Shopify subscriptions like Shopify Markets and Markets Pro, we have seen some good improvements, and also we have seen some AI-powered solutions. So obviously, we are talking about ChatGPT nowadays, and we know that it is really good to create content in a very quick way, but obviously we need to double check every kind of information that we are presenting to our potential visitors. But these kind of, like for example in Shopify, it helps you give the keywords, and it helps you to create your own meta description and title, and then you are able to edit afterwards. So these kind of integrations and these kind of features may save you some time if you actually have a limited team and content team as well. So and then you can actually move from there. Or let's say Google Translate integration, they have this Google Translate data, and then you can actually, you can still translate the content. Obviously, it's not like a native translation, but from there, your maybe native copywriters or native translators can go and edit from there and save some time for your team as well. So these kind of things are really important to consider before you start your journey. And if you are happy with those kind of integrations, and if you are happy with applying them, and if you really think that they're going to solve your questions, you can go ahead and then choose the platform that you think the most important for you. So for example, Wix. We have been it has been a discussion, like, for example, their page speed is not really good enough, especially in terms of the SEO perspective, etc. But we have been actually discussing earlier in the breakout session that is it really important factor for SEO or not? It depends on, you know, on the perspective that you are actually seeking this topic. But at the same time, in the recent years, they have started improving their SEO tools, improving their SEO perspective, and then actually improving their page speed as well. It obviously depends on your website, how big is your website, or how many products you are listing, or if you have any other issues with the technical side. But obviously it has been noticed that their website speed has been improved, and they have started creating these different SEO tools for different small businesses, so that they can actually train themselves and train their teams, and they may become more aware of the SEO environment, and then their potential impacts on the website. Another example is Salesforce Commerce Cloud. We have been working on some different cases, and one of the, obviously, this could be more customizable when it comes to, you know, if you want to change something on the page structure, or, you know, on the category structure on homepage. Obviously, you can reach your data, and still they have a good support team, and then sometimes it is connected to the global teams, and it makes you a bit tired in terms of follow-ups and, you know, the fast change. But again, it is actually a bit high cost value choice. But if you have a really complex business side, or if you have something different in your mind, like that you are thinking to develop your website in a different way in the future, I think this could be another option that you may want to consider. But at the same time, it comes with other considerations, like you should also be careful about creating duplicated content, duplicated URLs from different filters and different search areas on the website. This is like example for, I mean, we have talked about running shoes a lot today, so I'm not going to go into details. But I think it's the nature of the e-commerce, so shoes are the popular topic. So, for example, these three URLs are landing to the page that has the similar products in terms of the intent and also the product range. But you can reach those URLs from like main menu navigation. You can reach those URLs from shoes category and then running when you select from the filter and then select the men's section. And then you can also reach them from the men's drop-down shoes and running section. So when you see these kind of scenarios, you may want to consider which pages are really the page that you are ranking for those intent, and also have you done anything any technical implementation to avoid the duplicated issues which would affect your index coverage and crawl depth, etc. So these kind of considerations, I mean, there is no one good answer for like, oh, which e-commerce platform that I should be going with. But again, all comes with their pros and cons, and all comes with a note that you should be careful in terms of the technical issues that you may be having in the future, and what could you do for those kind of issues in the future. So I would just suggest, if you are creating like a new website, I would just go and analyze the competitor's website, which was built in the same platform that I'm considering, and then try to find some mistakes, some improvement areas on their website, and come up with some assumptions. Oh, okay, maybe this was their problem they couldn't solve because of the commerce limitation, or maybe this was a problem they knew it but they just ignored it. So it all depends on your business needs, and also like the decision makers involved in that process too. Obviously, there are like a lot of e-commerce platforms that we may want to discuss. I know we have a limited time today, but we are always happy to discuss any issues that you came up, you have faced with in the past about your projects or clients, and then from there we are actually happy to analyze any case studies, and then come up with some insights and ideas, and it will also teach us as well. So in a nutshell, SEO is important, obviously, but it is not, there is no way that you can implement all of the, the best practices and then come up with a best website. There's always some pros and cons, and there's always some limitations you may see and not really implement, or you may be able to solve, but again, you may not have you may not have the educated team or support or budget for that. So just keep calm, and then just make sure that you are covering the most important steps in your SEO journey for your SEO needs or business needs. And obviously be solution oriented and aware of your needs, and instead of only competing with your competitors, maybe just make sure that if you have an adequate product, let's say your if your product page is ranking well, and if you don't have enough product list on that page, it doesn't matter that you already have done all the SEO work on that page or that category or that structure on your website. So just make sure that if you are competing with your competitors, do you really have adequate product list or product range, or the categories that would really rank for those or not as well? So I know everybody has worries about like, oh, if I switch to this, if I will lose this data, or if I will be having these issues, etc. But at the end, you may not be actually having all issues and ended up with like a very bad SEO structure, but also just to make sure that you really chose the best e-commerce platform for your own business need, not like copying your competitors or any other websites. So I'm Yagmur Simsek. Thanks again for listening to this. And it was a very risky topic for me because I think somehow we all avoid discussing these topics. But I think we should start discussing about the pros and cons of e-commerce platforms, and have more insights in it, share more insights each other, as it's an ongoing topic. And even now, maybe Shopify is making some changes on their website or SFCC. Like, I think we should just keep ourselves updated with the new changes. Thank you.